I found that even the most anxious and crazy and disturbing thoughts that you have, if you just put it on paper and you look at it, you're like, okay, clearly this is not me. And this is just a part of me that's been stuck in the past somewhere, whether that be in childhood, whether that be in another part of my life where the chapter was very challenging for me. And now I'm really able to hone in and focus on where it came from so I can grow to be the goddess that I am. And this is how you love yourself into healing instead of hating yourself into healing, because we all know that that does not work. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my channel today. If you are returning for another video on the RP channel, today we're going to be talking about how I stopped becoming a masculine, or how I stopped being a masculine woman, how I really was able to step into that feminine energy, because a lot of the times we grow up in a way that suppresses that feminine energy, that softness, and those emotions. But anyways, let's stop talking and let's get into the video. Number one, I stopped being masculine when I started earning. I stopped being a masculine woman when I started earning. This is the interesting thing about earning money and building financial stability. Often I think it's correlated with masculinity because it's you're producing something, you're creating stability and structure, and that's usually tied to masculinity, right? I was watching a very interesting video. I wish I could remember the girl that was speaking, but she was on a podcast and she was saying actually earning and making your own money is one of the most feminine things that you can do. Why? Because femininity is not about living in survival or stress. When you think about feminine energy, it's about flow. It's about receptivity, which I always mention on my channel, and probably you can find so much content on there. I don't want to misuse the terms feminine, masculine, because I think people kind of paint it out to be very like one size fits all type of thing. But feminine energy for me is essentially the energy that I can enjoy within my own body, and then hopefully I can spread it to everybody else and they can feel my energy as a result of it too. When I first got monetized on YouTube, my life changed. It literally took a 360. As much as I wasn't making that much money, like I wasn't making crazy amounts of money, I was starting to learn how to become more financially independent and lean on myself, which I didn't know how to do prior. I wasn't worried about whether or not I had money for things, and as a result of that, I had more time to carve out for myself. Obviously, money is not number one, but it is a very helpful tool, because what it allows you to do, or at least in my eyes, the way that I view it now, is that it allows you to buy back your time. You save so much more time, and as a result, you can make more money. You can pour back into yourself and actually relax into your feminine energy. You see, I think jobs that rely on foundational qualities that make up a woman, such as intuition, nurturing, empathy, and communication, are jobs that I have learned through my own experience of working in different fields that is where I thrive. Jobs that are centered around those qualities. Number two, the second way that I stopped being a masculine woman was by owning my softness. You can radiate from such a place of authenticity in that way, and you just have to learn how to do it. Trust me, I wish that somebody had told me sooner that actually my softness is a gift, because I grew up never believing that. And it's actually the thing that can guide me through many, many things in my lifetime as a woman. So examples of this is I embraced moving slower, speaking slower, analyzing things slower, basically trying to do everything with so much intent. And like almost like if you have a cat, you know what I'm talking about. But if you watch the way that felines in general move, they're very calculated. Like they're watching everything very slowly, and that's what I tried to do. I learned from my cat. I watch her and I realize actually she's the most amazing example of feminine energy, because she's always observing and just always very slow and mysterious. You know, that's what you want to be. Obviously, you know, you want to be uplifting and amazing and, you know, be full of light and energy, but that's one thing that's really important, is moving with that slowness, learning to embrace the emotional and the more sensitive side of life, you know. Another example, I feel my emotions instead of shaming myself for feeling them. And actually, I try to understand those parts of me and where they come from. This is the power of journaling, and this is why journaling is so powerful. Yes, I think that gratitude's working. Yes, I think all these other journal entries will work. But one of the things that is so powerful is writing down, okay, the worst thing that you can think of, one of your worst fears, taking that out of your head and putting it on paper. The thing that you're so scared to tell somebody else, or you're so scared to admit to yourself, put it on paper and you'll realize it's actually not that bad most of the time. I'm going to say 99% of the time. And I found that even the most anxious and crazy and disturbing thoughts that you have, if you just put it on paper and you look at it, you're like, okay, clearly this is not me. And this is just a part of me that's been stuck in the past somewhere, whether that be in childhood, whether that be in another part of my life where the chapter was very challenging for me. And now I'm really able to hone in and focus on where it came from so I can grow to be the goddess that I am. And this is how you love yourself into healing instead of hating yourself into healing, because we all know that that does not work. Number three, I stopped being a masculine woman when I realized my energy is my most powerful asset. I think that the energy that is most natural to women, especially, is divine, simple, playful, natural, and just like uplifting and beautiful and gorgeous. And I could just go on and on and on. And when I wake up feeling like this, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so blessed to be born as a woman. I know that it comes with its challenges, of course, but if you can learn to embrace it, then you will have a much easier time navigating life and you'll actually have fun. That is the bottom line. Forget everything else that everybody wants to say about it, but as long as you have fun and you enjoy your own energy, you don't have to necessarily overconsume content on like feminine energy and get obsessed over it. You just have to learn how to enjoy your life in your own body, and that is it. That is the formula. This also motivated me to be less available, not out of spite, but because I understood how valuable my energy was, and it's not something that I understood prior in my life. In the realm of energies, you can think of your energy as like a bright and beautiful shining star. And obviously every other star that's a little bit more dull wants to get energy from this shining star because it wants more light too. So you can think of yourself that way if it helps, because I love the way that my energy feels on a really good day when I know that I'm fully tapped into my divinity. Number four, I stopped being a masculine woman when I started embracing my natural features and actually dressing more comfortably. So I dress in a way that makes me feel more feminine, whether that be through jewelry, statement pieces, little things here and there, but I actually wear less makeup. And I hold on before somebody freaks out and says something else. I wear less makeup, not because I feel the need to dress for the male gaze, right? Naturally, as I started to love myself more and embrace my softness, I actually started to just become more comfortable with my flaws and with my natural face. So it made me less inclined to have to spend more time on the way that I look, if that makes sense. I just started to feel the desire to embrace everything that was God given, and I feel most beautiful when I feel most me. It wasn't always like that. If you look back at my old videos, you can see that that person looks completely different. Still love her. Still love her. She's the one that decided to start this channel. So obviously we give love to every version of ourselves. But at the end of the day, I knew that in that moment, I actually didn't feel as comfortable as I might have thought, because I still felt the need to perform for other people. Number five, I stopped being a masculine woman by continuing with ambition instead of giving up on my dreams or just throwing them in the bin. Having ambition and striving towards something is actually what's going to keep you in your feminine energy. And I know it sounds a little bit contradictory because, you know, we're all taught that feminine energy is about relaxation and stuff. And as much as it is, that's predominantly what feminine energy is. At the same time, striving toward goals and actually having that thing in mind that you want to reach and achieve is what's going to keep you in your feminine energy, contrary to popular belief. But let me tell you, this is one of the things that have really made me tap into it. When you have passion, when you're overflowing with passion and the want and the desire to do something, and you actually do it and you achieve it, that is going to make you such a happy person. Creativity and cultivation is femininity at its core. So creating something that you believe in and that you could call yours is what's going to pull you into a whole different realm, because that's what happened to me with my channel. And even with like business ventures and things like that, I often feel like in the world of business, strategy is very popular, like math and logic and structure. If that's a method that works for you, then that's totally okay. But I think the beauty of realizing how much power I actually have is being able to cultivate those things through just intuition. Like, you just go with the flow and you go based off what you think and you feel is right, and you actually get the results that you want that way. When I started out on YouTube, my sole purpose was to just create and navigate my channel through intuition. I didn't really pay attention to the numbers or SEO and all these other things that I think people pay a lot of attention to, but more so I was going based off my heart, my soul, obviously my individual experiences that I felt like I could obviously talk about authentically on my channel so that I actually know what I'm talking about and things like that. So yeah, I find that for women it is often, it's a better strategy to just go based off your intuition, and it requires a lot less striving and more letting go so that we can allow things to arrive in front of us instead of running after them. Number six, I learned to be less apologetic. I posted a quote on my Instagram the other day, and it read, "Well-behaved women rarely make history." And I think that already says enough in and of itself. I think the reason that this really hits home is because a lot of us grew up with good girl syndrome and having to be, you know, the golden girl and the perfect girl and the sit straight and do what you need to do girl, trying to perform and be like, you know, the nice girl to everyone. But there will come a day when you realize that actually the good girl never wins. And it sucks to say, it sucks to hear. I would love to be a nice girl, but actually you don't win that way. By nice women, you know, I'm not talking about kind women. I'm talking about the ones that never speak out, never set boundaries, never fight for what they want. And honestly, the ones that don't disobey from time to time. Sometimes you just gotta disobey from time to time. So anyways, I think it was Ariana Grande that said, when all is said and done, you'll believe that God is a woman. And that's exactly how I see my own life, because every step of the journey, I'm achieving some new thing, and I'm, you know, discovering other women and connecting with them. And I truly think that every woman has more potential than they ever know, but they just don't open that doorway to discover more about themselves. So this is your opportunity. Do it now. You can only compare yourself to that of a goddess, and that is it. By the way, I just want to mention that I have like my Amazon storefront and all that stuff posted up, because you guys always ask me where I get some things from that I post on my channel and on my story. And so I have all of the stuff that I use pretty much on a day-to-day, like hair care, books. I've got a book list on there and that I'm still updating, but I have other things on there that if you're curious about, you can check it out. It is in my YouTube bio if you want to check it out. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Also, stay tuned for the next podcast episode. Okay, bye.